is Zezashetan, and this is Minecraft. So, been doing a lot of stuff this week, mainly just gathering some materials for today. Wasn't very exciting, so I didn't record it. But today we need rockets, and so we need to build a mob farm because we need gunpowder, and so that's what I plan on doing. During the week, though, I did spend a little bit of time. In the end, got a whole bunch of shulker boxes, as you can see. Um, uh, Also, went to the second place, second in city, and got us the second pair of wings from there. Cleared it out too. Uh, haven't really found a whole bunch of mending books yet, so I'm still stuck on what I have here. But I'm still working on it. But really need to get some rockets, so we're gonna build the. It's been a mob farm that I've used many times. Just because it works. It's very efficient and it works for me. So that's what we're going to go do. Let me go ahead and go over to the location and I'll meet you there. Alright, so this is going to be the location of the farm, though it's going to be pretty high up there. I'm choosing this spot just basically because it's got a wide area that doesn't have any spots that could be spawnable. Though, like I said, it is going to be pretty high up there, so most of it won't matter, but it's better safe than sorry. Um, just as a side note, I think I mentioned it in the video before, that witch farm is useless to me. Just because there's a river that's flowing through half of it. It's unfortunate, but it happens sometimes. But yeah, so my base is just right over there. This should be close enough. I do have to go up to 127, I think, first. If I can find my scaffolding. Yeah, so I'm going to go up. I'm going to get some stuff started, and then I'm going to explain on how I'm doing this. So, I'll be back as soon as I have something to show. Alright, so I have the first platform built. This is going to be the rail platform. That's just going to go back and forth. Generally, I use hoppers with this farm, but unfortunately, because of that over there and game mechanics, I can't quite do that just yet. So, I am going to use rails. The thing is I have to decide is because when it comes to hoppers, I can I can have it just go straight out this way, but the problem is that on um, uh, this line right here, all the way across, is going to be a powered line. And so if I have the hoppers right there that just goes into a block right there, which that would be the dispenser, the um, the observer will keep on powering this block, which will mean that the rails will keep on going back and forth. Though that actually may not be that bad of an idea. The problem is I want them to unload. And that's a bad idea for unloading. So it's a horrible idea. Now that I've talked it out, but so I have to decide on how I want the hoppers here, the unload hoppers, and I'm just kind of worried that it's just going to cost a lot of resources. But so that's what I'm in the middle of right now. Once I actually figure that out, I actually don't have enough powered rails to fill this whole item or this whole line either. I will eventually with this farm. I'll get enough powered rails, but as of right now, I'm kind of limited, so I have to also decide on that. So I got a lot of things to decide about, so I will be back as soon as I have made some progress. Alright, so I have the dispensers in, um, and hopefully the way it should fire shouldn't fire the carts, which is what I'm concerned about. So the observer up on top right there goes into a glass block, which shouldn't power anything, I'm hoping. So the best way to test it would be just to do this. Okay, that did not power, so that is good. Now, do I have anything? Can I do this? And then, okay. So that's a good sign. Neither one of those powered. Did it spin it? Yep. Sweet. And let me go grab my rails, and I'm going to test with the rails there. And then that will be the definitive answer on whether or not this should power it. And if it doesn't, then I think we should be good on that end. Beyond that, it would be just figuring out the rest of this. So I will be right back. Darn my blasted memory. I actually just remembered a unloading system that Il Mango, of all people, created, and would actually be better for this farm. The problem I had with this farm is or this unloading station is I'm not exactly sure it's going to be able to keep up with the farm. So I think it might be better. So I'm actually going to switch over to that now and just go from there. So everything I just built has got to go. So here we go. Alright, so this should be the unloading system. Basically what happens is once this hopper has an item in it, it goes to that comparator. And there's a torch right behind this block right here, which will then turn off. Yeah, it turns off, and then when that happens, the powered rails, which will be right here, will turn off, which will mean the cart will stop right there and unload their stuff. That's the unloading mechanisms of it. And then the torches back here will turn on, which will turn these sticky pistons on, which will start a observer clock, which will start to unload the droppers here. And so that's the basics of it. I'm also putting some cobwebs here, because if you don't know, cobwebs will center up an item when they're dropped. The dropper will like spit it all over the place, but this will center up the items, so it should actually drop straight down, which means I shouldn't have to put a drop chute in this area. I'll keep close watch of it just to double check and make sure. Just make sure I'm not losing any items, but I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to work. And so now I need to lay the tracks. Nice convenient thing about working over water. You can jump right into it. So I'm going to lay down the tracks, and then we're going to go from there. And then hopefully soon we can actually start building up. Alright, so there's all the tracks. I had enough of the actual tracks to do 7 or 10 rolls, which I think doesn't add up, but hopefully I did my math right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That is 21, so that is correct. Now we need to put the magna block layer on top of this, and the outside layer around it, and then from there it's actually just building up, and then get into the actual layers, the actual redstone themselves. So I'm going to lay the magna blocks, and then once I actually get built up to the redstone, I'll bring you guys back. So we will be back. This is very awkward. Somehow the the wandering trader spawned right on top of my build. I don't want you up here. Hope you don't die. Nope, you didn't die. I don't know what the spawning is for them, but I may have to put glass over that, because if they spawn on top of there, when the carts are running, that may block the carts, so I may have to put glass up there just to stop that. But that was really funny. I wonder what he has. Alright, so here is the idea of the farm. So these are the spawn platforms, the packed ice. They are 8 in and then 8 to each side from this spot right here. So what will happen is water will flow out, and anything that spawns on these platforms will be knocked off and then pushed down there. Now this is 40 blocks from there, so they should die just by the impact, but sometimes they don't, and so that's the reason why I have those blocks down there. Also, the fact because I just didn't have enough iron to make enough of the hoppers, but I think this might, and now that I actually think I have a really good unloading system down there, this actually may be more efficient. But we'll just have to see once it actually gets there. But yeah, so each layer will be two floors of spawn, and then a floor right above it for the next spawning. I think in my plan there's about 12 floors. I'm not 100% sure. I have to go look at my blueprints again. But then go from there. Then out from here, I'm going to have to figure out where the actual timer is. It's an etho hopper timer that will actually run all of these dispensers. So I'm going to start building that, and then we'll go from there. I'll be right back. So I was able to get all the layers in. It's like 17 total layers, which is a lot of spawn pads. It should be pretty efficient, considering the fact I shouldn't be anywhere near the ground. Um, I I found the person who actually created this farm originally. His name is Smoking Koala, though I can't find the original video anymore. Matter of fact, I can't even find the original person who made it. The channel wasn't deleted, but it's basically non-existent now. So I don't know what happened there. Hope the guy's okay. But there are a few changes that I made. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I do have these stairs here. The reason why those stairs are there is so that if this farm breaks, which the way it's designed, it can break, um, and the water is stuck in the on position, or if it is activating opposite from the other spawn pads, then you can easily reach in there with a bucket and take the water out again. It's just a precautionary way. There's an easier way to do that, is just to put an off switch on the farm, and then that'll keep the farm from actually breaking. But yeah, just precautionary. But I'm just putting on the final layer here for the top of the farm. And then after that, I'm going to try to build an AFK spot. Well, I still have to do the redstone. Yeah, so still have to put the redstone in. Then put the buckets in. It's going to be a lot of buckets, to be honest with you. It's 17 times 4, which is more than my math wants to do, 68. So 68 buckets. So I still have to do that, but it's moving along. This farm is actually taking pretty long time this week, just because there's a lot of materials that go into this farm. Now I will say that I gathered ice for these floors. Technically, the ice really doesn't do anything. It doesn't move the mobs any faster, though it will make it so they may slide towards the outside after the water flows. But it's not absolutely needed. Any other material could have been used, but I like the ice. I just like the way it looks. But I'm going to finish up with the ceiling here and then start on the redstone, and we'll be back. So I was able to get all the torch towers into place, and I was able to get the hopper clock in place. If you don't know how this works, the hopper clock will push the the redstone block back and forth, which will power this. It'll send a quick pulse through, which will turn on all of the dispensers. Actually, I think it's supposed to be on a 4. We'll turn on all the dispensers, and then it'll also send a pulse this way, which will, after the delay of all these repeaters, will turn them all off. And that is how it works. So I need to go grab myself some buckets of water, and I'll be right back. Alright, I have everything set up. With a flick of this switch, should start the process. And then we should start noticing some stuff dropping down here. So what I'm going to test is to make sure that everything is not falling on top of the platform here. This is going basically where the drop shaft is going to be. It's going to go down underground, but I just have it set up now just to double check and make sure that anything is actually falling within these actual slots. And it did look like, as of right now, everything is falling in the correct space. I am going to just continue running this for a little bit, build up a small little AFK spot, and just double check and make sure that everything's landing in the correct spot. But as of right now, it's been a long week. As I've been doing this has taken a lot of materials to gather and all that stuff. But if you have been watching, I do really appreciate it. If you've liked what you've seen, please hit that like button. If you want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification button. You'll be notified whenever I actually make more. But I do appreciate it, and you have a good day. Thank you. Bye.